podcast is powered by Audio House Dublin.
Maybe it's just me, but I feel like when you're passionate about something and something feels like it's meant for you, like you always have energy for it. You always want to do it. You always feel up to doing it. But like I've definitely gone through the process of like, oh, should I stick to what I've done, or like maybe following my own gut is like, I guess, the best way to do it.
Yeah, I mean, we'll just kind of jump straight into it, man, if that's cool. So, yeah, obviously last time we talked, it was right before Stride actually dropped. So I think Time was the only single out at that stage.
It was Time and Found My Feet.
What I was going to say to you was like, because obviously like even on the night of like the listening party and then when it dropped and stuff, were you able to like sort of process all that at the time, or like has it kind of like hit you? Because obviously just there I was saying it's only been like 3 or 4 months since it dropped. Has there been like these moments since then that are like, whoa, like
it hit me while I was there, to be honest. Like
because it was a sick night, man. I can't stress it enough.
Thank you, man. It was pretty hard to miss, but like it hit me just the fact that like everyone was there. You know what I mean? Like everyone showed up and like the vibes were amazing. The atmosphere was crazy. My family was there, which is probably the part that hit me the most.
Even like there was some great flicks I saw of the Tower Records thing the next day. You know, that looked like really, that whole really
week
wholesome.
Literally was just like, it was crazy. Like
Blessing was like,
the atmosphere was just mad. But like even just going off like our last thing when we talked, it's like I was talking about, oh, my parents feel this way, blah blah blah, and then just to go to that and exactly like, yo, this is what it's like now. It was amazing, man.
It's like the watch me do this moment, you know. Like, no, it's phenomenal. You know, you're one of those guys that's pretty much like a pioneer, well, you know, in terms of creating like breaking new ground for Irish hip hop right now. Do you feel like any sort of like pressure with, you know, people's expectations or anything like that, or like even being classed as like, you know, like in Irish hip hop or anything, like about what people like expect you to do or anything? I
did before the album dropped, and then as soon as the album dropped, and then like the reception was like unexpected and it was all positive, I was like, yo, maybe following my own gut is like, I guess, the best way to do it. So like since then I feel like a huge weight has been lifted, so now I kind of have space to like do what I want to do. But I know like people are probably expecting maybe what they got from Stride or whatever. It's like what I'm working on now is completely different to that, so it's like I'm just gonna keep doing me, I guess.
Oh man, that sounds sick. Because like one thing that I just thought was super interesting is like you're one of like this current like hip hop generation that actually sort of like dropped an album, you know what I mean? You know, like it's a proper album, like how has it, like, do you feel like a complete shift in terms of like everything that's come before, or does it still feel like part of all the same journey?
Before the album, like I always thought like an album was like a really big thing, and like I guess it is, especially coming from Ireland and the fact that not many people drop albums. But I'm trying to think now, like before the album I was very in my adolescent phase of music, I would say. I'm still there, but like I really didn't know what I wanted to do. Do you know what I mean? Like I just knew I wanted to make music and it was just for fun or whatever, but I wasn't sure which direction or what. But like during that process I've literally like grown and like kind of come into my own type thing, hence the word stride. Like I've actually like caught my stride. But now it's kind of like after that, like, cause I'm always thinking, I thought like dropping an album would bring all of this change. You know what I mean? Like I'll be able to like, I'll get signed and I'll go here and I'll do this and I'll do this. And it's like,
well, you just well,
but like it's like it's a real reality check after the album. It's like, yo, like I actually have to like promote this. We still have to put money into this. We still have to put time into this. Have to do a tour. We have to do all these things that stuff, like that require all of this work and stuff. I'm like, okay, this is more than just for fun now as well. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's kind of wisened me up as well in how like the game actually works. But
it sort of never stops as well, I imagine.
But like I've definitely gone through the process of like, oh, should I stick to what I've done, or like should I continue moving like this or whatever? But I never want to lose the spontaneity of music. You know what I mean? I still want to do what I do, even just randomly just do something crazy or whatever. But like, it's definitely like made me understand the business side of it more, but it's also opened up my whole world, like in the creative sense as well. So I guess I've grown.
When you said like about the spontaneity, I can definitely bleep this if you don't want me to say it, but does the Sage May stuff help with that at all? I can definitely bleep this if you don't want that.
No, you can't. The story behind that's like, he's dead now. Do you know what I mean? So so it's all right. He's dead now. But like, not that. For me, for me, Sage was he's a part of why I feel free now as well. Do you know what I mean? Because making stuff with a team behind you is always very collaborative, which is a good thing to do. But for me personally, I always wanted just to be in my room, just to like experiment. I could never produce or anything. I didn't know how to or anything, but I don't know what happened earlier this year or like the end of last year. I literally just got like a spring into like, oh, let me start working on my own thing. I've just literally stacked up on a whole like bunch of music that like I've produced and like done myself, and I'm just like, like I'm in my own kind of thing. So I'm like, all right, cool. Sage doesn't need to be around anymore, because like I can always just I'll translate this into Jafaris, blah blah blah, and just make it like that. But like
that's sick,
that was a moment in time, and he was very different to like what Jafaris is. He's more like dark and more like he's a vigilante basically.
So that might that like pop its head maybe like in the next project, or like not the next project, but like 100%. You know, in a future it's
probably gonna feel like, oh, Jafaris is bad now.
Do like a what's it, like the Kill Edward on like KOD, like like that sort
that's sick. That's a good idea actually.
You heard it here first. No, that's sick, man. Even circling back obviously to like the actual album though as well, on the night you were saying, I forget the name of the YouTube channel, but the series of
Transformation Church.
That's it. And that kind of like inspired like, well, more or less like the name of the album,
basically the whole concept. Like at least it sparked the fundamental idea of the album anyways. Like I came across it, I think a friend sent it to me or something, or I must have come across it on Instagram, and I don't really like, though I'm a Christian, I should be watching all these sermons.
I was gonna ask like how pivotal of a role does that sort of play? Like
that was probably the switch in my whole life, just like not even just musically, like in my personal life and spiritual growth and physical and everything kind of just changed since then. It didn't happen overnight, but like it was definitely, that was the thing that sparked the I guess the domino effect of change.
Because like it's not easy to sort of just go out and like claim Christianity nowadays too, you know what I mean? Even though it's like,
that was something that like I hate to say, but I was low-key ashamed to say,
for real,
you know what I mean? Like I was like, oh, like being around friends and stuff, I was like, oh, like I would hear them like even say something maybe that was blasphemous or something, like I couldn't say anything,
and you're gonna get called like, corny, you know
like,
what I mean?
But I think the more you grow in something, the more you're like, you understand it for yourself, and it's like, I'm not doing it for them. I shouldn't be afraid to like shout about like what I am or who I am kind of thing. But that was definitely pivotal, and it just like literally launched me to be who I am right now type thing.
It's like being really sort of self-assured, like you're kind of like not compromising who you are at all anymore, you know what I mean? Which is pretty 100%. Sick. Like with like, does Jafaris as the name, does that like help with that sort of thing, or you know
as
what I
in
mean?
like, does it help to be free to say
like the fact that you created this, and you know you've done all this stuff, does that help you kind of validate like, you know, no, this is me and all of it helps me get to where I am? Or
it kind of I guess it justifies it almost. It's more like, I don't know how to put it. It's basically like, this is everything that I am now is the result of my faith kind of thing. It's the result of like my walk and who I am, what I've like learned and stuff like that. So when people like say like, oh yeah, you're sick and you're doing this and all this, I can't even take credit for it 100% because like it's coming from something else. Do you know what I mean? So I'm like, it's basically, and I guess Jafaris does make it easier for me to like go out and be like, this is who I am type thing, because now I have something to show for it as well. But aside from that, it is just a personal thing. It's just like regardless of whether this was how it panned out or not, this would be who I was regardless. You know what I mean?
Like just touching back to like you like starting producing and stuff, how's that been like in terms of like before? Obviously you would have been working in a big team. Is it like is it just sort of like new to like work like nearly on your own again?
The process is very different now, and I love like just being in like, because my house I do it in like the small room that's like a storage room, but it's like a box. The sound is terrible, everything is just not great quality wise, but I'm literally just there making the song from scratch and recording everything and mixing everything how I want it. But obviously when I start going through like the stage of like mixing and mastering, I have to take it into the lab and like
that's the real,
they'll like start adding the quality factor to it. So like right now it's just the creative stage. So like,
but it's like another way to like sort of make it new, I suppose. Cause
it's
one thing I was gonna say as well is like, you know, Stride isn't even like a short EP or a short album as well. You know, like there's clearly a lot of like work that went into that. So. Did you at any stage like were you feeling burnt out, or like did you feel like, you know, you needed to take a break? Obviously off air you were like, you know, you're already back in making music, like even if that's just for fun, but like did you feel any type of burnout?
Not at all, man. I feel like well, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I feel like when you're passionate about something and something feels like it's meant for you, like you always have energy for it. You always want to do it. You always feel up to doing it. Do you know what I mean? Even if the day is just going all the way bad, that's probably something that will bring up the spirits. You know what I mean? So like, I'm never burnt. I'll go till like my eyes are shut, and then I'll be like, all right, cool. Then I have to just sleep off. But like, I'll go for a whole 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years.
Yeah, man, I love that. That's sick. Even like I imagine like when you have it like there in your house rather than like previously, would you have been going to like the Diffusion Lab office or whatever?
That was the worst part about it. Cause like obviously like I get priority and stuff like that, but they still have to they still have clients to come in and stuff like that.
Sometimes what I can imagine, like you know, I don't know about being an artist necessarily, but like obviously I do like graphic design, so I can imagine, you know, you get like those flow states, you know, where you're just like 7 hours went by and you're like, whoa, why is it like 4 a.m, you know what I mean? Like so it must be a lot easier obviously to do that from home and stuff.
1000%, man, 1000%. Like I'll start like as soon as I get up. And then I'll probably finish at like 4 a.m. Like probably minimal breaks, don't take a shower or anything, but it is what it is.
And obviously I said it to you just there as well about the tour, which as well it must have felt like, because we touched on it in the last conversation about, you know, you're more so like entertainer first. And one thing I wanted to give like huge props on was just the level of like attention to detail with the show. I'm not sure if you switched it up night by night. I was only at the Button Factory, but like when like Evans Jr. and all those boys like came out with the stretcher and then like you with the boiler suit and like the paint and all, like how was the whole process of like creating that show in your head and stuff?
Well, that's the blessing of having a team, because when we thought, like literally I brought everything like to the table, not in detail, but like this is my story, this is how I want to tell it. I want it to sound like this and potentially look like this or whatever, but the details of like, oh, let's put this on you and like put the paint on you, that's Steffi. The lights, that's like Smiley. The actual like theatrics, that's me, but like the people who were involved made it like the way it was, you know what I mean? But it took a while to like, not really, it took, I'd say we put that whole show together properly in 2 weeks. Because I was away for a while, like I was in London and stuff, and everyone was busy doing their thing. So literally took 2 weeks to just like set it all up. But like I wish I could have taken that exact show around, but like not every venue accommodates for it. You know I get you. But it still worked out the way it worked out. So,
no, that's sick, man. Like, cause like that, like honestly, genuinely, like that blew me away, because I was like, I've just never seen that in a show before. Like, you know, even like big artists or nothing, you know what I mean? You're like, that was just fucking sick. Like, I added so much.
I'm trying to make that bigger. I'm trying to take that to a bigger place. But in due time.
You mentioned it there as well with going over to London and stuff. Is it like different when you're over there, like writing and stuff and like working with people, or?
What much I say? London, the first time I went, like, it was me, Soleil, and like Ivan, like my manager, and we just went, and like, I think I got 2 sessions there, and the producers weren't like, it wasn't even the type of sound I was trying to do or anything, but I was willing to experiment.
Yeah.
Just how quick it was and how like the vibe was completely different. Everyone was like young and like just fast paced, and everyone was on a different mindset completely. It really, like, when I came back after that, I was like a whole different energy, whole different spirit. I was like, yo, we have to move, like, you know what I mean? And like going back and forth now, it's like I'm getting used to it now, but like every time I go there, it always feels like I'm driven to make something better than I did last time and stuff like that. It's crazy. Like London's just the spot really when you're trying to create.
Yeah, for sure. Because every now and again, like I was watching, do you know Devlin? He's like a grime artist. Like I was watching like an interview with him, and he was basically like recounting like all these stories of like his group. And then when you think of like Boy Better Know and like all these, you know, and it's like you see how much room Ireland has to grow still, but it's like crazy that like, you know, London has that like
it's already
history embedded
fruitful,
there right
man.
now. Like
it's fruitful. Like London is the spot, and I recently went to Berlin as well. That was literally the same.
Actually, I think was it one of you guys, like Ivan or someone, said like it was just the best city for creative.
Yeah, man.
Stop.
Like it accommodates so much. I mean, like it's even just to the transport, like €7 to get around on like bus and train. Do you know what I mean? That doesn't happen. Like
not here for sure.
Like, and someone said that to me, I think it was my engineer Martin. Yeah, he was like a part of the problem in Ireland as to why like the creative scene hasn't boomed is like if we can't even handle like a small part of like the economy, which is like transport, for example, how are we supposed to like make the creative thing work? You know what I mean? It's like I need to get to the studio, I can't even get to the studio on time and stuff like that. But it's mad. Like Berlin's the spot for that, and London is amazing for that.
That's even like another thing that was like at that district thing last night. Even they were talking about like the Bernard Shaw, like that smoking area being closed down, and like that petition to just have that like stay the same had like 25,000 signatures or something, and they compared it to one of the speakers from Give Us the Night or whatever, you know, like to get the late hours like pushed back a bit later. He was saying that like in Sydney, like a city of like 4 million people, they only got like 10,000 signatures, but they like changed the law overnight. And it's like over here you get 25,000 for a smoking area, and nothing gets done. You know what I mean? It's like crazy.
It's actually sad, but like, you know, the young people are changing that. We're changing that 1,000%.
For sure.
Like
it does definitely feel like there's like a bigger sort of voice than ever, like just across the board. So it is really positive. You know, you've just done the tour and you've done the album. Like, are you looking at anything next, or like
the album was a big, hefty like project, but I kind of want to spread out in terms of like what people are used to hearing from me. Like, I feel like Stride had a sound. Do you know what I mean? It had like a specific kind of theme, and it moved cohesively in what it did, because I had like other people producing and stuff like that. But I think in the next project, which is gonna be a mixtape, I'm gonna like literally just do.
That should be fun.
I'm gonna try to do everything.
That should be fun.
Yeah, it's gonna. I don't want to be put in a box ever.
For sure.
You know what I mean? I know people say that a lot, but I'm being like, as in, today I'll do rock, tomorrow I'll do trap, tomorrow I'll do like this. You know what I mean? And maybe not everything works, but like. Like as long as I enjoy doing it,
one thing I'm after, actually, just sort of like, I'm thinking to myself here, and I'm like, are there any features on Stride? I never even noticed this. Is there?
There are no prominent features, but there's a voice in there from Unique. Yeah, she like sings all the harmonies. She sang the chorus in Stride as well. But like, there's no actual.
I'm gonna have to just realize that. I suppose it makes sense though, because it's like mainly like, you know, it's your like debut, so like you don't want like a load of other people jumping on it. You know?
Didn't even cross my like, to be honest. Crazy. We did make in the early stages. I did a track with Solo the Astronaut, and I did a track with Sam Ojo for the album, but it just didn't fit the story. But no, that's interesting. Like, is that something you'd like to explore with the possible mixtape and stuff? I'm definitely going to be doing a lot more features. Like, I have a lot of songs with like Irish artists and stuff. It's just it's mainly their songs, so like it's up to them when it drops and stuff like that. For me personally, I haven't really gotten. I'm pretty selfish with music, if I'm being honest. I made a song the other day that like I had a specific space for somebody, and literally got to the studio. By the time I got there, I had the whole track done. I was like, next one. But
you know, we briefly sort of touched on it in the last one, but like, you know, was there anyone that you were listening to and like influencing the album at all? Because obviously it is like such a unique sound, like internationally, like obviously in Dublin especially. But even in terms of like, I found it interesting there, you were saying you were watching like Ed Sheeran interviews and stuff. Like, do you ever like just take influence from like these really weird like places, even if it's like subconscious, just sort of like how those sort of artists might like conduct themselves
during the album? But like maybe towards the end, I watched like an Anderson .Paak like I think it was an interview or whatever, and he was talking about how he arranges his album and stuff like that, and like that kind of popped out at me, but it was kind of too late to like make any major changes. But I know now for like the next project or whatever. But like I think this project wasn't really influenced by anybody. No, like
it doesn't sound it, to be fair, you know what I mean? Like, you know,
like if anything, it was probably like my friend Solo who like influenced a lot of like the choices of melodies that I chose in certain songs, because I was around him often when I was making music for it. So like, and like I really rate his melody, so I was like, a lot of that probably came from him. But other than that, I wasn't really trying to look at anyone else.
And like even like now, do you have like a favorite song still from like the album, or has it changed, or does it always change? I suppose that's like pretty like
I'd still say Ghost is my favorite, simply because of like the content, but it hasn't changed.
Is it ever like, because what I'd imagine, like this maybe just like for me looking on the inside in, but is it ever tough for an artist, like sometimes if you're being like really introspective, but like I imagine then if you're like surrounded by like friends or like producers and stuff, is it ever kind of like weird to like share some of those feelings in the studio? Because I know like
that's the weird thing about me, is that like no matter whether it's like in person, on music, on Twitter, on Instagram, I'm pretty like who I am.
Book,
you know what I mean? Like
I'm
a very open book, and some people say that's a bad thing, but it still hasn't, like I still haven't seen any repercussions to being an open book. So I never like it's probably even better like being in the studio and being able to open up to somebody, because it allows them to open up to me, and then it makes for better music at the end.
Exactly, because you don't want to be like, I have this sick bar, but I'm like too shy to say it, you know what I mean? Like,
I think that's weird for music. Like you have to kind of be open, even if you're just flexing. Like,
but even like that's one thing I was going to touch on, because obviously like even in the last one you did say like, you know, your parents, especially like your dad, like kind of like pointed you straight in terms of like maybe like the content that like you're rapping about. But does that ever like come full circle, like even with like sometimes if you do have a super ignorant bar or something where you're kind of like, oh shit, you know? Like,
I'm noticing that like I'm still talking about stuff that I know and that's real to me, but I've definitely started using words that I never would have used usually because of my parents. And my dad follows me on Instagram, so when I'm like putting up clips of the music, I'm saying like the N-word and all of this stuff. I know he's probably looking at it like, but like the song is still real. It's just like I'm expressing it more now. But it's still me, but like I've grown, so like
for sure. One thing I was gonna say is like, what's like sort of what does like Jafaris sort of listen to on like a day-to-day sort of basis?
Like
some weird like,
do you know who I'm listening to a lot? Actually, I'm listening to Dominic Fike. Dominic Fike a lot. I'm listening to do you know?
No, actually
he's like interestingly a mix of like rock and trap like flows and stuff like that. It's sick though, like his songwriting is amazing. Listening to him, I'm listening to Lucky Day, I'm listening to obviously the Dreamville thing. I've actually listened to it a few times I listen to everything really, but a lot of singers more than rappers, to be honest.
I suppose like does that help with like melodies and stuff as well?
Like I'm in that melody bag a lot, man. Like lately, like in the last week or so, I've been rapping again, but like previous to that, I've just been singing. Like everything I hear, I just hear melodies. It's it's weird.
Because like that's one thing that I found in terms of like, so like I sort of started the magazine more so because I was like a designer. But then you like have to learn all these skills of like doing a podcast or like you know, like doing social media or like doing something else that's like I was gonna ask you, like in terms of like being a musician, like say even something like this, like you probably never really thought like you'd have to do as many interviews and stuff. Like is there anything that like sort of like surprised you about even like where you are now, that about being a musician?
I definitely am surprised at the fact that I'm singing as much as I'm singing.
Because like just there when you started saying about the melodies, I'm like, I can imagine, you know, you could come from like a really technical rap perspective, but it's like you need that OVO 40 to give you some melodies or something, you know what I mean? Like,
man, it's weird because like when I started music, obviously it was just strictly rap and there was no melodies whatsoever, but that was something I was always interested in. Like I just couldn't sing for like anything. I was always around people who could sing, like Jesse and Unique and all these people, and like all I could do when they were vibing out was just add a bar or two, you know what I mean? Which was so dead. But now it's like, now I'm heavy in that bag, and it's surprising because I never thought. I used to always say like, if I could sing better than I rap, I would be a singer. I would choose singing over rapping. But like I'm glad I kind of have a bit of both, so it's like best of both worlds.
Yeah, for sure. What do you ever like get inspired, like, because obviously you rock like Diamond Piece and stuff as well, do you ever like just get like sort of inspiration from like weird like sort of other cliques and stuff, or like what they do and like how they like conduct themselves and stuff?
I'm actually quite inspired by Soft Boy.
For sure.
Like their whole movement is like sick, and like same with Outburst as well. Like I
was gonna say, what do you think of the Tree Arena gig?
Man, that like I was telling people like yesterday, I was like, bro, like from back in I think secondary school or like secondary school at least, like I've heard of them, like I heard like bits of them, like if it ain't Outburst I ain't blaring it and all of that, but I didn't even know who it was because I wasn't really in the music scene like that. And then like now to have like met them and seen part of their growth and stuff like that, I'm like, whoa, this is wild. Do you know what I mean? That stuff inspires me. Like these are people that I can see, do you know what I mean, I've talked to, so it's like it's wild to see. But like that would be I guess the weirdest people I get like inspiration from, and like think people like Odd Future and stuff like that. But they're like I think they like inspired like this whole like generation, like Odd Future, like 1000%. Which I feel like Ireland needs more of that. Do you know what I mean? Like because I'm coming from like an individual standpoint in the music industry. I feel like I'm still trying to figure out how to create a movement behind myself without having like a whole collective of people, which I would love to do, but I don't want to just do it for the sake of doing it. I'd love to have like a bunch of people that were in my the same kind of vision, same mindset. But like I love the fact that people like Soft Boy and Outburst and stuff are doing it, even Nuisance and like, who else is doing it? Who else is a collective?
There's definitely a good few, like
even like what was it, Base Life as well. There's different people.
Man, even the Limerick lads, like somewhere in Ireland and stuff, like they're doing major bits.
There's little Lemon Pie, I think it is. There's just like little random ones, and like the problem with Ireland is that stuff is happening, but it's not being documented. Do you know what I mean? Like the reason why Odd Future went so well is because they documented everything. They shot videos. They like had pictures up everywhere. It was just like, it was visual, like we could see it and we wanted to be a part of it. I think Ireland needs to get on that wave where it's like, yo, we're actually showing people that this is fun stuff that we're doing here. Do you know what I mean?
But, man, I still remember like all those videos like Tyler and Jasper. Do you remember Jasper? Oh, man.
Them just skating, like just being friends. You know what I mean?
Man. But like I love him and Rocky's relationship as well. When they were there, like they're always like fucking with each other and shit.
We asked Rushes this when he was down. What's the process like of going into the fusion and just the process of coming to the end with a song, or like working through a song then?
Well, like it used to just be me walking in, yo, what's up, Chris, what's up, Martin, and then like we sit there and he's like, all right, cool, what are we gonna do today? And at the time I didn't really know what to do, you know what I mean? So I was like, all right, let's see what comes out of it. And he just starts on the drums. As soon as the keys come in, then I'm writing. And by the time he's finished like arranging the beat, like I have the track written, and then like I just get in the booth and then we record it. But now it's more like I'm working at home and I'm like doing all these things, and I'll send him stems, and then I'll go into the studio and kind of sit with him, and like we'll rearrange sounds and stuff like that, and then bang out the track. It's pretty fast paced.
Yeah, one thing I was gonna say is like, is there like a next, like, cause man, even like and loads of people said this to me too about like the posters being around Dublin when Stride first came out, man. Like loads of people said it to me, like Rebel P, and everybody was like, man, it was like puts a smile on your face just to see that, you know what I mean?
Mad.
Like without like obviously like you probably can't say too much, but like what do you feel like might be like the next step that like sort of like diffusion, because I feel like, you know, you guys are like nearly at like the forefront of like pushing that like major recognition for independent music, but like what do you think like the Irish scene maybe needs more of? Maybe like, because like from the outside looking in, maybe people would say that you have resources and stuff like this, but like what do you think like realistically Irish artists actually need? Or like
I know that the one thing that's like that keeps popping up in conversations is that Ireland doesn't have infrastructure. We don't have enough like
people say that.
We don't have enough managers, we don't have enough like platforms, we don't have enough all of this. Like I'm seeing it change. Like we have places like New Air TV, we have like you guys, we have District, we have a lot of like publications Frosted, now,
they
but
just started, like, renamed,
that's that was Airwaves. I know from being in the Fusion Lab that like even they're taking on more people to like help along and stuff. Like I don't know if I should say this, but like I saw like Nilo come in and stuff, and like I know a Lethal Dialect.
Sick.
Is it Lethal Dialect?
Yeah.
I think he was in there as well. Like there's a few different people like coming in and stuff, and like I don't know if they're gonna be a part of the Fusion Lab or whatever the case, but like just the fact that they're now in the room and stuff, and like being able to like have these conversations, even if it's just a case of grabbing like advice or whatever, it's like those are like good steps. And also like I think more collaborations as well, more like cross projects and stuff like that. Like I know I got pitched to do like a EP with Evans Jr. Cause like that could be cool as well. Like really, cause he's doing his own thing, I'm doing my thing, and it's like it would be cool just to build it up. Cause I know like in the UK they have stuff like that when like what was it, Jay Huss and Mostak got together, Jay Huss and Dave, and like everyone just kind of gets like, excited about stuff like that. I mean,
even
we don't do that enough.
Like AJ Tracy and like all them boys.
It's still quite clicky in Ireland, which may not be intentional, but like it definitely needs to break up, and like people need to work with those people over here, and etc. But
for sure. I was gonna say, like, from what you've seen, like with yourself and with your, you know, your peers and stuff, how important do you think radio play is? Because we've seen, like, obviously it helps in a small scene like Ireland, but you've seen like Odd Future obviously blow up like with radio play, because no one would play Bastard, you know what I mean?
This low key is my battle with like, I guess, like how we distribute music and stuff like that, because I guess from an industry or a business standpoint, it is always the goal to like get on radio and like let the song blow up and be a hit and stuff like that. But I definitely never wanted to be that type of artist. Like I wanted to kind of create an avenue where like people could connect with me or like other ways. You know what I mean? Radio is obviously like icing on the cake. For the artist, it's good because you get money for being on the radio and stuff like that, so it's good. It's just like it's definitely not the only way. Do you know what I mean? Because
I think like what I was gonna say as well is like it feels like most artists that I care about I didn't hear from radio. But like I don't listen to radio.
Like I don't know who even still listens to radio. Like besides the people who are on their way to work and stuff like that. Like I guess radio is still very important. People still tune in.
You almost wouldn't think it, but it does seem to have like a significant role in.
It's only I feel like just the way it's being handled these last few years just isn't how radio was impactful in the start. Do you know what I mean? I feel like people were putting things on the radio that no one was aware of at all, and it's like, all right, cool, now we know this artist and we know this artist. Now it's kind of like if the song is popped off already, then we play it on the radio. Do you know what I mean? Like if it's doing numbers or whatever, then we play it on radio. But it should be the other way around. There should be like people. There should be an A&R in the radio being like, "Oh, this song is really good. Let's play it. Like, let's make this hot." Do you know what I mean? But like, radio doesn't break artists anymore.
Yeah, no,
it just
they're not
plays.
interested in it. Like, because even when you think about like how many like bands we got, like the Coronas, the Script, and it's like, why aren't there any like hip hop guys on that level yet? You know what I mean? Like,
man, we need to make pirate radios out here, man. We need to.
yeah.
There's a way to make a radio station without it being like illegal, right?
I think it's always illegal.
Is it?
I think so. I think you need to get
what about,
like some license.
College stuff, like college radio.
Yeah, true. I don't know. Yeah, you're not wrong actually. Yeah. You heard it here first. Jafaris FM coming soon.
I've been thinking about it so hard, like, cause I did this thing when I was on Instagram, and like I went live and I just literally played all the songs that like I was listening to that like people may not have known.
Yeah, you even put up a demo last night. Even. Yeah.
But like, I would love to just do that, or like somebody should do that. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Like, have like an interesting radio station where we play like people we haven't heard of, Irish artists who don't get plays or whatever. But
I have seen like was it like there's one look like Play Irish. I'm not sure if you've come across that. There's one like that I've seen on a few.
I saw like some ads about that. Is that like an actual radio station?
See, that's the thing is like I feel like sometimes we say like, oh, we need this, but it's like I think the way we envision it in our heads is like better than it actually is in practice, you know. So like I'm always wondering like whether it should be more on the radio side, or even like what I was going to say to you is like maybe like what can like people like us, like blogs like District and everyone else, what can maybe we do more of to like prop it up, like
not like you guys are doing your thing. It's just a matter of like making it catch on and stuff. Like people are catching on like slowly but surely. But you guys are doing your thing. I think you just need more of it. You just need more
for sure.
Have you listened to Jaden's album?
Yes, bro, man. Summertime in Paris, bro. That is the tune.
Album, like, there's some stupid songs.
Oh, for sure.
Stupid songs, but like the songs that make sense, which is majority of them, amazing. Yeah, it's actually I love Fire Department. Random, like amazing.
And even like the way like, one thing though, like realistically speaking though, the project does sound like he's trying to be Astroworld. You know, on a lot of tunes. There's some that don't, but even like on the ones that don't, you could be like, oh, that's like, you know, Sad XXX, or that's, you know, like it sounds like he's
heavily influenced by people, I think, which I don't know if it like, it's not a bad thing because it's not like I didn't personally hear like the exact sounding kind of inspiration type thing, because like the way he writes is a bit different, like it even is, like his voice and stuff, and like
because I love it. I just hear everyone else sort of say like, because and I you can see it on tunes like on the last on Sire where it was Watch Me, and it's literally the drums from like Black Skinhead, like it's literally and you're just sort of like, oh man, come on. That's like one of the only songs you can recognize from just drums, you know what I mean?
Nah, I think he still did his thing on that album.
Yeah, for sure.
Did his thing.
No, I'm a big fan regardless, like, but you can.
It was like a mirror of like his first one. It was like the first song, the pink thing, and only N and K really stood out, just like U and E stood out on the first one as well. It's just so weird, but
I liked Blue more, I reckon, though. Blue just doesn't sound like anything else from any artist live.
I feel like he may have tried, like, I feel like he wasn't really intending on making like a mirror version of it. I think he just like, oh, this was cool the first time, let me try and recreate it.
I guess coming full circle though, man, it's a testament to then how your project sounds like totally unique. Do you know what I mean? Because like someone like Jaden even like you know, just sounds like,
that's
a weird amalgamation.
That's the thing though, like it's all subjective, because there's people who think I sound exactly like Kendrick and like the majority of the album. I'm like, really? But like, I know where they could hear that, do you know what I mean? Because like I've always been listening to Kendrick and stuff like that, but like I know there's a bunch of people who will like hear it and be like, I don't hear anybody else but you as well. So it's potato.
Yeah, I suppose it's all subjective. I don't know. What was I think I asked you last time. What are you watching on like Netflix or like YouTube or?
I've been watching.
Man, I just watched like all the Stranger Things in like 2 days. Like,
I still haven't gotten into that. I think I must have watched like 3 episodes and never really watched it
it's
again.
fair, like,
I don't know if it's good or bad, to be honest. I've heard it's good, but like I've only kind of watched those. I've been watching Good Girls.
okay, it's on Netflix.
Yeah. It's literally about like these like 3 women who like get themselves into like this huge situation where they stole from a what was it, like a
crime boss and shit.
they stole, like they just thought they were stealing from like a supermarket, but then like it was actually like the supermarket was washing money for a boss, and then it's interesting.
No, I love those. Have you seen like, see, this is where like it just gets off the rails completely. I'm just recommending movies to the guy, like Nightcrawler with Jake Gyllenhaal.
I watched it.
That movie like put me on like a mood for that week. I had to watch all those sorts of things.
I think I watched that twice. I actually watched that movie twice. Yeah, it's sick.
That and then Drive with like, oh man, man.
What have I watched recently?
Stupid, carry on.
Did you watch Black Mirror?
The new ones?
Yeah.
Man, the new ones are weird.
Very weird.
Man, that fucking The Striking Vipers, bro, with the Mortal Kombat shit. Like, I was watching that with my girlfriend.
Be honest,
like, no.
Would you do it? Be honest. He's sick. I would not do that. Nah, you.
Wait, do you know? Have you seen it?
You would do it. Because I was asking my friends, and one of my friends was like, I'm like, and he made an interesting point though, which I missed in the show. It's like, the guy who caught feelings in the show, was the girl. Like, he was the girl. Like, he became a female for the first time ever. You know what I mean? And like, obviously how they like approach like relationships and stuff is always very like more emotional than the man in general terms. I was like, okay, that makes sense. So like, he's like, you don't know what you'd feel like as a woman. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, you don't know how you'd react to stuff. I was just like, I would never step into a fighting game and automatically just want to have sex with somebody. Do you know what I mean?
But I'll put it to you this way, right? There's no way that game would come out and not tell you can have sex in it. Do you know what I mean? It's like, there's no way they just found that out. You know what I mean?
To be honest, like, I may dabble if it's another girl who is a girl in the game.
But then it's like, why do you need the game? Well, yeah.
True. Say.
We're covering a lot of ground.
But you could also not be attracted to her in real life.
True.
And attracted to the character in the game.
True.
Which is so weird, because I saw that girl in the actual show.
Oh,
and
stop,
I was like,
man.
not at all. I would never touch her, man.
Wait, no, the girl, the actress.
In the show. Did you see? Really?
That girl was hot, man.
Not for me. I was just watching. I was like, nah, bro. Just the fact as well that you know it's your friend.
Well, that bit,
and then they had to kiss to make it feel like it was real or not. I was like, nah, bro.
Man, that bit, like, because like that was the first, like, my girlfriend never seen Black Mirror, and I put that on. I was like, I'm sorry that this was so weird. Like, I literally had to be like, it's usually good. You know what I mean? It's usually.
I thought it was good though. I actually thought it was weird, but it was like, it's good weird. Like, it was interesting. Like, who would have ever thought of that? Do you know what I mean?
Well, like, here's like a conspiracy theory for you. Well, not a conspiracy theory, but like, I feel like in like, you know, like 50 like or whatever, like 100 years, whatever. It's like, could you think about how many problems would be solved though if you could exist in like a virtual reality like that? Because even like people, like we were just saying there, like, you know, that guy could have obviously felt like a girl or something, and like that sort of stuff. So like, if you're a legitimate trans person, you could like not even have to go through an operation, but you could just exist as in like actual.
Yeah, true.
You know,
female, I think there's a movie on that. Was it not?
And then like, you know, people who have like disabilities can walk. You know, it's like it solves like so many problems, and like resources.
What's that movie called? It was in the cinema. It was like
maybe.
It was like a kid. They get into this game and they like drive like that thing. What was it called? Game Over.
So off topic here, like.
Yeah. That's like.
Oh, okay.
That's that. No, it's like.
Yeah.
It was something like that. Yeah. True. Yeah, stuff like that would be cool, but I don't even think we're getting to 50 years later, man. To be honest, we only have 12 years left apparently. because of
Get those
climate
albums
change.
out, bro.
Bro, yeah.
yeah.
That's crazy. I know.
Anyway, you heard it here first. 12 years left.
That's mad. What? Like, how do we save the planet, boys?
We're gonna tackle this question right now. Like, right, 10-point plan.
Because you know, I keep hearing about like the issue, but I'm like, okay, how do we change it? And like, obviously, people say, oh, becoming a vegan helps, and like, not eating
sustainable
meat and all of this
fashion
stuff,
shit.
and all of this stuff helps. But when you talk to people who are woke about it, and then you see them eat meat after having the conversation, I'm just like, so what are you gonna do? You know what I mean? It's easier said than done. Yeah, it's weird, man.
Unless we just totally change how things are done, it's like it's too tough.
That's too much of a big question.
You know?
There's a lot of people trying to tackle it, but I feel like it always just starts with you, really, like, and things just work off that way. It just works off a domino effect. If you change yourself, someone else close to you will see that, and then someone else close to them, and then
that is true,
like,
for sure.
You might affect the whole like city without ever having to go on Instagram or anything like that to be like, oh, let's change this and blah blah blah, because like someone else saw this and then this is blah blah blah.
Yeah, for sure.
That's obviously the long way around, but it's probably the most sustainable way, because if you change yourself 100%, then like you don't even need to worry about like what anyone else is doing, because you know you're doing it right, doing it right, and people will see that. Well,
yeah, that's true. Damn. It's like, did you ever watch anime?
I actually haven't.
I was really hoping, like,
I wish I could get into it, because I love cartoons.
I just like yesterday I just randomly went up to like you, Dylan, and Jack, and I was just like, favorite anime, go. And like Jack was I forget what he said. He actually said something like Akira or something, and someone said Pokemon, which isn't like,
is that an anime?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Yu-Gi-Oh and Dragon Ball Z and all that.
Okay. What makes it an anime?
It's like animated from Japan.
Oh,
so like when we like watch it on Cartoon Network, it's been like dubbed again. You know what I mean? But like the original would have like obviously Japanese. Yeah.
I'm just waiting for Rick and Morty, man. To be honest.
Man, for sure.
Still waiting.
Yeah.
That's,
what's that, like season 4 or season 5? Man, I felt like season 3 was a big disappointment though overall. But Citadel of Morty or Citadel of Rick, which one was it? Yeah, that episode, like where it was kind of like dark and shit, like that was like, I wish they did a whole season like that. Like,
man, they have not disappointed me not once in any episode.
Really? I don't know. I thought they kind of took
pretty consistent.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I wish I felt the same. You know what I mean? It was like, oh man, Game of Thrones is the worst for that. I don't know if you probably don't watch it.
I have watched it.
Obviously, man. Everyone knows.
Have you watched it? The whole thing.
Did we watch the last episode together?
Was it a disappointment? Was it good? Really?
Oh yeah, like they kind of like rushed through a load of stuff. So it's like the first like 7 seasons are like really well crafted. Then it's just like snap of a fingers, everything's done. And it's like
mad.
Yeah. Anyway, we should probably like talk about music or start just like something else. Yeah. Oh, you ready? You good? Yeah. Cool. My guy killed it as always. All right. Yeah.